Cavan Cunningham's with us. Now, if you are on streaming video, you'll recognize Cavan Cunningham, a guy who needs no introduction at all as Mayor Fitzy. Now, you're sort of unique in this, because they keep saying you're the Saskatchewan guy, but you're originally from the West Coast.
I am, yeah. I'm originally from Vancouver, other places before that, and but I reside in Regina, so.
Wow. Because everybody else, of course, has homes, they're in and out. So the choice to actually move to Regina, how's that been?
Well, it was
There's Dr. Phil, how's that been working for you?
Yeah. Well, it's worked out pretty well, actually. I mean, considering I did move before this show started, and then landed the work on this show, so it's worked out pretty nicely. It's kept me, this show particularly has kept me at home in Regina for 5 or 6 summers, so that's been really nice. I'm used to traveling around to find the work as an actor, so it's been nice.
The role of Mayor Fitzy. First of all, when I just met you, I said, God, you look younger. Everyone will say that.
Oh, thank you very much. Here's your $20.
Yeah. So, as a character, he plays a fairly dominant. He's not sort of part of the main 6 ensemble characters or 7, but pretty dominant in terms of the number of episodes you're in.
Yeah. I used to think he's kind of like a twisted political moral center of Talk River, But he's a great character because of the political paranoia that he kind of plays, and he's I have a lot of fun with him.
Now, has anybody commented to you? Particularly people in small western prairie towns, about the level of political paranoia anyway. I mean, you do a pretty good job of playing that local guy who's trying to keep his finger on the pulse, but is getting torn so many ways.
Yeah, and I don't actually want to do too much work, right? But I want to seem like I'm doing the job, right? It's funny, before, I think just as the show aired the first season, I actually met the mayor of Tisdale at the time. I was doing another gig in Prince George, a theater gig, and he came up and introduced himself, and he was sort of commenting, particularly on my wardrobe, actually. But and I said, well, it's kind of funny because my wardrobe kind of defined Fitzy, funny enough, when I first got into the suits and shirts and.
But there was that golden, was it a golden blazer?
Oh, yeah.
There was that golden blazer that showed up in a lot.
There's a plum blazer I'm kind of, partial to. But, a lot of that came from our first costume designers, growing up in Assiniboia. Brenda grew up in smaller towns and stuff like that, because I've never grown up in a small town. And I know she kind of based Fitzy's look, anyways, on maybe a couple of mares around Assiniboia area. So that helped a lot, And yeah, the acumen for looking like you're involved and busy and actually accomplishing things without actually accomplishing things.
And wanting lots of credit.
Yeah, lots of credit.
But kind of slacking off.
Yeah. And delegating. Because of course I've got, my police officers to delegate as well. Rather suspicious. Karen's a bit suspicious of me, but Davis, he seems to fall in line pretty good.
Cavan Cunningham in studio. Cavan is the guy who plays Mayor Fitzy, and he is the one member of the cast who actually resides in Saskatchewan full-time, lives in Regina, and he's with us here at the Ruby. The other interesting thing, by the way, if you have any questions, you want to join the discussion, it's 1-877-332-TALK, and we are doing our behind the stage, behind the scenes tribute to Corner Gas. When you look at we were just laughing with Brent earlier, this place we're in, the Ruby, is an amalgam of every single small coffee shop that ever existed in Saskatchewan. Every Chinese restaurant, all of us who grew up in small towns could morph 3 or 4 of these places, and this is it.
Well, I even think of, I didn't grow up in a small town. I grew up in a suburb of Vancouver, or most of my growing up in North Vancouver. And these places are gone now, where I grew up, but there was 2 or 3 diners, coffee shops, that resemble this place, like, to a T, and it was, you went there and even in this community I grew up, which was part of Vancouver, you went there, you had a coffee, you met people, you talked, you found out what was going on, kind of thing. So I don't know if that's endemic of every place, even in big cities, or whether it was just this community I grew up in, but that kind of small town kind of feel, that community kind of feel to a place. I was even able to experience that, funny enough, but they're gone now.
Now, in terms of the input of the cast, they're a team of writers. Of course, this is a bit of a unique thing because Brent writes and stars. The rest of the cast, is there input that you have, or is it essentially you're getting?
Well, I make suggestions all the time, and they yes, we'll make a note about that in a minute. No, no, I'm pretty much, you know, it's so. I mean, the writing process, and I haven't sat in on any of the writers' meetings, but I, you know, heard secondhand. I mean, they're so rigorous, and you know, astute as far as what's funny and that kind of thing, that they really nail things really closely. And there's a lot of leeway for us actors, you know, as we kind of get into our characters, you know, as they evolve over the shows. But it happens the other way around. The writers also start to create these characters as a, you know, to work with the actor portraying them as well. So there's, I find anyways, for me personally, there's not a lot of necessity to actually suggest a lot of stuff because you find them there, you know. And if I don't understand them, I ask. Sometimes I don't understand a joke, right? And I don't, you know, sometimes I'm like, you know, it's first thing in the morning, I haven't had my coffee. So I ask, and that, you know, kind of enriches my kind of performance and experience.
Everybody involved in this show, and this is just one of these anecdotal things. You talk to people in the production business, you talk to, I mean, they say that it has a kind of rapport and relationship on the set that is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Professional, yet there aren't a lot of airs put on, there are no prima-donnas.
Yeah, I've worked on a number of shows, you know, in Vancouver and stuff, and really, I mean, so I got to work on this show. The rapport, the comfort, the, you know, the sense of family and stuff like that.
Does Brent still have the women who have the fans in front of them in the roast?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah,
yeah,
but that's a given, right?
Yeah.
You know, and he people carrying around
in
the
sedan
divan.
chair.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
The sedan
yeah.
chair.
But you know, that's comes and goes with all these shows. You know, big star.
Is there somebody on the set in a certain scene who cuts people up? And is there a natural? Because when you're shooting a comedy, that must be tricky.
Yeah, two for me are Eric and Lauren. You know, and I get a script. Excuse me. I get a script. I look at it. And when I come across Oscar's bits, I laugh out loud. And this is at home at my kitchen table or something, because I can picture Eric's delivery and the setting, the context of the scene. And when we get on set, I work a lot with Lauren and Tara, the police officers, and you know, sometimes when it is stressful because of time or whatever, just, oh, thank you for having Lauren on the set, because he is such a great guy and he's got a great sense of humor. So, I mean, for me personally, those two really set me off. So,
Cavan Cunningham's here. You know Cavan Cunningham if you saw him. He's Mayor Fitzy on. Have you ever counted the number of episodes you've been in?
No. It's kind of like poker. I don't really look at my chips.
Because when all is said and done, and this summer's 19 episodes are put to bed, there will have been 107 corner gas episodes. And of course, Mayor Fitzy shows up in many of them. I'm John Gormley. Hey, back to your calls, 1-877-332-TALK. And we're on streaming video. A first for this show where we're actually we're filming what's going on here live. So log on at Newstalk 650 or newstalk980.com. Have a look at the ruggedly handsome cast members. Cavan Cunningham, the latest. Look at that face. I'm Gormley. This is Newstalk Radio.